We want to start off with a reminder that we are not doctors. Before you make any changes or try something new, always consult with your doctor and medical team first. Chronic illness can vary from patient to patient, so it's always best to consult with your own doctor for what is best for you. Welcome to I Be Determined. I'm your host, Michelle Harvey.
And I'm also the host, Mason Harvey, and I have Crohn's disease.
And I speak from the role of a caregiver, and I'm Mason's mom. So today we're speaking about something that is extremely important to us. And you guys will have one of these organizations somewhere near you as well. So this is very valuable information that can not only help you, but can save a life and it can help others. So
Lots of lives.
Yeah. So what are we talking about today?
If you haven't noticed by our shirts, which she's wearing a shirt that has blood,
O, B,
all kinds of bloods, and I'm wearing a shirt. It's the blood bank, Team Survivor.
Yeah.
San Diego, yes. San Diego Blood Bank.
And we got these shirts from the San Diego Blood Bank. We went last night to their Team Survivor event. It's the first one they held. And I'm really glad they did this because we got to meet other survivors and we got to meet their caregivers, family members as well. And so at the event, we were served yummy food.
Yes, really good food, actually.
Yeah, Mason loved the chicken.
The chicken was so good.
He was a fan. And so we got to just enjoy each other's company and hear different stories. It's kind of cool to get to go to this event and to support them and to feel supported. So Team Survivor, basically, do you want to explain what Team Survivor is?
So Team Survivor is a group of, the name is pretty specific, survivors. Yeah. You received a blood transfusion.
Right.
And you survived. So that's why it's called Team Survivor.
Right.
And I received like 7 or 5. So I am on Team Survivor.
Yes.
And so, I survived.
Yeah. Which we're extremely thankful about. But the cool part about this is these guys are asked to do different things throughout the year, to volunteer, to be representatives, to speak to media, to attend different events, and to keep spreading the message.
And raise awareness.
And raise awareness of why blood donations are so important.
So if one person donates some blood, they can save up to 3 lives. So one person can save 3 lives. So like you can get some pretty, you can save a lot of lives if you have a lot of people coming in to donate blood. So it's really important to have people to come in and donate blood because it like triples the amount of people that you can save. It's not like you are just saving one person with one bag of blood, which is still very important. You're saving 3 people with one blood donation.
Mm-hmm.
So it drives people to donate more often because they're saving lots of lives.
What we also learned last night is that every how many seconds?
Every 2 seconds, someone needs blood.
Right.
Which is pretty impressive.
Right. And now that's not just
crazy.
here in San Diego, just to be clear, that's all over the world.
Or the world. Yeah.
But that is how important this is. In the time we're going to be talking with this, there's going to be many lives that are going to be needing blood. And something that I didn't really realize is that before Mason had blood transfusions, I really thought that the blood bank was there for emergency situations, which they 100% are. Yeah. But I pictured mostly trauma. So I would picture like car accidents or people that just suddenly needed it. I never pictured in my head really the people that need these
as a treatment.
As a treatment.
Regular.
There's people that need these regularly, or if you have something like leukemia, for the amount of time you're being treated, you're going to need multiple donations. And the other important thing is that you might think, well, if like, say somebody needs blood, like say Mason, like when he needed his blood transfusion, I immediately asked because I'm like, oh, can I give it to him? And now that seems really silly. I was also extremely upset and stressed, and I just wanted.
At the time, we didn't really know how it works.
No, and so I just thought, and I knew they couldn't like take it out of my arm and put it into his, but I figured I could go down to the blood bank, I could donate and make sure it was given to Mason. But what they do is they're going to use the blood that's on the shelves. And we got to see last night the process that this blood goes through.
You got to take a
So
little tour
we
of the
did.
back
It
rooms.
was really cool. And well, at least for us, I thought it was
I
extremely
thought it was really
interesting.
cool.
Yeah. And so you can see exactly why when you need blood, it needs to already be on the shelf. It needs to be ready to
Like, they
go.
can't be like, oh, this person needs blood. We're gonna have a donator come in and donate it for them. If someone needs blood, they need it right then. They
Right.
can't wait.
And one of the things we got to see last night was besides the labs where they show you how they separate the blood, how they treat it, the things that they run it through,
Very cool.
and then where they store it, which was really
Yeah.
cool. We got to see
Just
so
shelves of
much blood.
blood, and it's so funny. We're talking about, oh my god, we got to see so much blood.
Yeah, but when you're
Yeah,
looking at it, like what I'm picturing is there are going to be lives saved
saved. On
because
that
of
shelf, there
this.
are lives.
There's lives, and that's what I saw was there's hundreds of unknown faces and unknown people sitting there that their lives will be changed, not just their lives but their families too, which is equally important with blood donations. And so on this tour we got to also see how quickly they can ship it out. They have drivers on call that will drive this blood immediately to the hospitals, but the goal is also to keep it on the shelves in the hospitals. So they have an automated system that updates them with how much the hospitals have, how
And how
much
much they
they
have
have, and so they're always trying to make sure there is enough.
in store. Yeah,
So that was really interesting to us last night.
very
I think
interesting.
if you ever get the chance to go on a tour of a blood bank, do it.
Yeah,
And just see how
don't be
much
afraid to
work
look at
goes into
things.
it. Yeah, and I think it also
Don't
kind
be
of
afraid
takes
to go in
the
the freezer either.
yeah, they had a freezer. We didn't get
Yeah,
to
a
go
walk-in freezer.
it.
Yeah,
But I'm sure
yeah,
maybe another time.
yeah. Someday,
Yeah,
someday you might have another chance.
but it's pretty eye-opening. And one of the things the CEO Doug said to us last night, which is really important with blood donations, is that it's not just about the lives and the person you're saving, it's lives around them. And it's the future potential of people that may change the world. And so by saving one life, you are potentially saving many more. You're
And changing the
potentially changing
future.
the future. It's just
Yeah.
an interesting concept to really think about. And I think that's something a lot of us don't consider. And so there's families out there, like I know when Mason had to get his transfusion, it was just, we were just so thankful. And at the time, I didn't know how to say thank you, but now we've spent time giving back and we think of creative ways to help the San Diego Blood Bank whenever we can. And if they ask us to do something, it's like, yep, we'll be there and we'll do it and we'll help out because we're so grateful and we want to pay that forward and give that gift to other families out there as well. That's kind of so it is. It really and everyone is so cool who
Oh yeah,
works there. Like they're our
the hospitality
friends.
is amazing.
Yeah, and it's like so good to see them. It's like seeing family and the way they work together and how much they care is just really incredible. It's a
Mhm.
really cool organization. So we're going to kind of go into some I think these are kind of some like fun facts about blood
Yeah.
and some
Fun facts about blood segment, whatever. Community.
oh, we need some kind of cool graphic to
Yeah.
pop up, but but anyways, so let's start off because Mason has some of these questions. And here's some of the things that we learned about last night. So, what is the biggest blood type? So, type O is the most popular type of blood. O positive specifically is the most
Most frequent.
frequently occurring. And what is the universal donor?
O negative.
It
Or
is.
also known as ONAG.
Right. They are pretty cool people. So yeah, so O negative is very important because they are a universal donor. So if O negative is a universal donor, what about a universal receiver?
A universal receiver, which means they can receive any kind of blood, is AB positive.
And so we're talking with all these letters and these negatives, these positives.
It's like when you put letters in math.
Right. All of a sudden it's algebra.
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
But with blood.
So we were kind of curious because we're like, okay, we know Mason's O positive, I'm O positive, and what does this mean though? What does it mean? Basically, the definition that we looked up, and this is what was explained to us last night, is blood types are triggered by the presence or absence of certain antigens. So an antigen is a substance that can trigger an immune response if they are foreign to the body. So
an illness, it attacks it. if it's a blood type that it isn't used to, like the wrong kind of blood type for that person, it will attack it because it doesn't know what it is, and so then that causes a whole bunch of other issues that you
Right.
don't want.
Which is why it is so important, they've discovered, to make sure that when you receive a blood transfusion, you receive the proper type.
Mhm.
Even I think when you got your blood transfusion, they may have given you, I don't know if it was Benadryl or something like that.
Yeah, I think it
But you
was.
take Benadryl even for your
Yeah.
biologics because the same thing can happen. You can have something triggered. So there's that, and they also watched him very closely for fever to make sure he wasn't reacting. What is if you have blood type A out there, you have only the A antigen on the red blood cell. Okay, so that's and when you're looking at your plasma, you're going to have the B antibody.
So it's
So it's going to be
reversed.
right.
So if you have A
So
blood,
can you
you're gonna
guess
be plasma.
if type A has the A antigen in the red blood cell and the B antibody in plasma, what would the type B blood have?
It'd have a B antigen.
Right. And then in the plasma,
It'd have an A antibody.
right. So reversed.
Reversed.
Right. What
Like
about if you
magnets.
have type AB
If you have AB, you're gonna have an AB antigen.
on the red
Yeah, on the
cells?
red cells.
And in the plasma, interestingly, there's no A
No,
or B
there's no
antibody.
reverse for that.
And then type O is going to have no A or B antigens on the red cells, but we'll have both A and B antibodies in the plasma. So not
reverse.
yeah, like so you say, okay, great. What is positive? What is negative? What are we saying when we say that? So there's something called the rhesus factor, so the Rh factor. It's a protein, and if you have that protein, then you are positive.
Positive.
If you don't have it, you are
You're
negative. So if it's
yeah.
not present in your body, you're negative. If you
If you
do
have
get
it,
it,
you have a
you're
positive.
positive.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really interesting
Very interesting.
because yeah,
Being all sciencey.
I wasn't super aware of all of that. And I think what is also I wanted to bring up too, because we're kind of trying to talk about this stuff to kind of take the fear out of talking about blood
We don't want
transfusions
people to
and
be as scared of donating.
no, not to be scared to donate, not to be scared to receive it. When you do need it, you'll be really thankful. And
Because it will save your life.
if you are donating, it
You're gonna save
is
lives.
because you are saving lives, and it does mean a lot. And
So keep that in mind. You're gonna be a hero.
and also you you just the process that the San Diego Blood Bank that they take this blood through should give you a lot of confidence. And it's not just our center, it's other ones too, but it should give you a lot of confidence in the measures they are taking to save kids like Mason or to save adults out there. It's not just about the blood donor to the blood transfusion to that. It's many steps in between, and it's also a lot of other research that they're doing and that they're a part of and saving lives in other ways. So I thought that was really
It was really
interesting to learn. So in the future, we are going to interview somebody from the San Diego Blood Bank and get
so keep that
more.
in mind.
Yeah, we'll get you more
Keep
details.
posted for next episodes.
Yeah, so we'll keep you posted. But for now, we're just kind of giving you a brief. This is just kind of like an intro to blood transfusions, but we'll have somebody on here who's much more qualified to talk about it. But I think these are important things for you guys to know, for you guys to share, because that's the only way this message gets spread is if we talk about it. So I think it's important for, if you can't donate blood, there's other ways to do that, to help out. And we'll talk about those too. But we were just extremely thankful that the blood was there when Mason needed it. And we didn't have to wait. And that's their number one thing. They don't ever want to run out. They want to be able to assure the hospitals that we have this and we're ready to go.
Always ready for patients who need it.
Yeah. And that's the most important thing. They don't ever want to hear that a patient didn't make it because they couldn't receive this blood. One of the things that Mason was fortunate enough, he got to the Conrad Prebys Foundation, I don't know if it was like a year or 2 years ago now. They had made a very substantial donation to the San Diego Blood Bank so they could purchase precision blood machines, which are extremely expensive. And so they were able to contribute and help do that. Mason was able to speak at that event as a part team survivor, and he got to meet the CEO of the Conrad Prebys Foundation. And it was a really cool feeling to get to say thank you in person because this is going to change lives. Really,
lives and save lives.
What it's really interesting is that it doesn't only identify so the blood types we just talked about. It also identifies there's I think is 354 antigens. So we just talked about A, B, A, B, and O. But they really want to get a closer match so there aren't reactions and
Mhm.
people don't have these reactions to blood. And so by taking it even further and looking even closer, they can even have a better match. So like Mason could get an even closer
Yeah.
match to
Then
his
I
blood type.
then I got. Yeah,
Right.
they had that
Which
earlier.
and it's
Yeah.
important because people who receive multiple transfusions, like we talked
There's a
about
higher
earlier, there's a
chance,
higher chance you can start to build up that immunity and you can have a
and
reaction.
they don't want
So
that.
by doing this, it does help eliminate that.
Mhm.
And that again, that's something I hadn't really thought of before Mason's transfusion that people like Mason who have a disease and it's not curable, you may need these as treatments. And there's other diseases that this is how they treat it is with blood. I think that's really a cool thing, that precision blood program. So they are working on it to get even more precise in the future. I think
Yeah.
sky's the limit for lives that they can save and people they can treat.
Blood is the limit.
Yeah, blood is
Yeah. That was
And they also talked about the All of Us research program last night. And I'm not totally still familiar with it,
mhm.
but basically, if you donate blood, you agree to be a part of a database, and they can use your information to help with disease prevention and treatment insights. So they can use this for other aspects of research
This is very
and
cool.
also genetic insight. It really is because that's how they get this information. People agree to it and they can start looking at things and so it's a bigger picture than just the donation kind we're talking about.
Make discoveries with
They can. Yeah, they
so if you
definitely
wanna
can.
if you wanna make a breakthrough, donate the blood bank.
Yeah. So one of the things they're also talking about last night is why it is important for people of all races to donate. And so typically, of course, race doesn't play a role as long as your blood types are compatible. So that's basically it. But for some individuals, they have like a unique protein structure and it makes it difficult for them to find a compatible donor. So having a variety of donors just helps increase those chances that they can really get specific and get the blood they need to that particular patient. So it's just important to spread the message to have everybody donate, just
So have
anybody.
all kinds of blood.
Yeah. And we'll be talking to not on this episode, but one of the questions we're going to probably ask them is, what qualifies you to donate? I think that's because those are changing. I think
Big
20 years
factors.
ago it used to be very different
Yeah.
than what it is now. So it's interesting to see. This is where I want to find out how it varies and how these decisions are made. The other thing before we wrap up is what I want to talk about is different ways you can help. So some of you out there might be anemic. Some of you may not be able to donate blood for various reasons, but you can help them financially because they use the money to buy like blood mobiles and
Better
to do events, the
machines. Yeah.
machines which are so expensive to continually improve, and the employees are integral to this as well. They are working so hard to make sure everybody gets what they need. So you can help with just donating. You can go to your local blood bank and you can make financial donations if you can't make blood donations. We will do that. We've also created different ways where we can give back. We are right now,
Yeah.
actually, we're hosting a snack.
Snack blood drive.
Hmm.
So we're having snacks sent to us so we can donate them to the blood bank because we didn't mention this. When
Hmm.
you donate blood, not only are saving 3 lives, you get a little snack at the end,
Which is
to
really
make you feel
enticing
better.
for some
Yeah.
people. That's a good reason.
Lots of
So
free snacks. Go to the blood bank and
yeah, you get
donate.
a free snack and a drink.
Yeah. So we're holding a snack donation. So yeah.
Yeah, ours ends on November 25th, and we'll put a link. We have an Amazon wish list for this that I can post at the end of this, and in the comments, I'll have a post for you guys. So if you guys want to contribute or make a donation, you're more than welcome to. And we're going to be dropping everything off after November 25th. We're going to be bringing it to the San Diego Blood Bank. Get creative, talk to your blood bank, ask how you can help. Can you hold a blood drive? If
Donate money for machines, all
yeah,
that good stuff.
and
Yeah.
just you can go donate because they do whole blood donations. They do double reds,
Double reds,
plasma, platelets.
platelets. Yeah.
So there's
Plasma.
other, and so some takes 10 minutes, some takes a couple hours. So depending on your schedule too for donating, you can pick. And there's different ones you can donate like every 8 weeks, some you can donate every 2 weeks. And so find out and see how you can help. And there's many ways you can, and volunteers,
Yeah.
actually, they could use
Some
volunteers.
volunteers. Yeah.
There's a lot of volunteers that are amazing people we've had the fortune to meet and get to say thank you for what they do. And a lot of them are also like they're donating blood too, which is incredible.
Not
So
only are they volunteering, but they're donating.
yeah, which is important. We found out the importance of it when Mason needed it, and it was a shock because it wasn't ever something we thought Mason would need, and it wasn't like there'd been an accident. It was just a result of
Crohn's.
Crohn's
Yeah.
disease, and it's just a relief to me to know that the San Diego Blood Bank is there. If anything does happen and Mason does need blood,
They're here for you.
they're here for
And
you,
us.
and they are working hard to help everybody. And I know wherever you're listening from, you have an organization that's also doing the same. So, anyways, that was kind of what we want to talk about because last night was a lot of fun. We had a really good time and just thought we'd share that with you guys today. And it's a good reminder to donate blood and to say thank you if you are one of those donors and you are listening or watching. Thank you so much for what you do.
Yes.
So, like Mason said,
You're saving lives.
you're saving
a
lives.
hero.
And you're a hero. You really
Please
are.
donate. And if you haven't donated, you should really consider it.
Yep. And if you have any questions or call and ask and go down and visit, take a look. And that might help ease any fears or answer any questions you might have. But we'll talk to somebody from the San Diego Blood Bank in the future. And I think that would be a lot of fun. So we can ask some questions. So if you have any questions that you would like us to ask, you can post in the comments and we'll be happy to relay those when we do that interview. Thank you guys for listening. You can follow us on Instagram at Team IB Determined and see Mason's journey and follow through looking our pictures, our stories, they're all posted on there. You can listen to us on podcast stations like iHeartRadio, Spotify, Buzzsprout, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you can listen to podcasts, we're there. And if you prefer to watch
on YouTube, and if you're on YouTube, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you want to be notified every time we post a video, make sure you hit that bell icon.
And it's been working because we have had somebody commenting and we really appreciate that.
If you're on YouTube, make sure you leave a comment.
Yeah, because we had somebody, Mason usually makes a comment at the end, like, leave us a comment. We don't get many comments. So thank you guys for listening. And it actually, to me was interesting because I always learn something and I also don't feel alone. I feel like, okay, you relate, you get us. And so it just as much as we're here for you guys are also here in a large way for us. So we appreciate that. So you guys have a good afternoon, morning, evening, day, weekend, whatever it might be. And we will see you guys on the next episode.
Yay!
All right.
See you in the next episode video, she said.
Yep. All right, guys. Bye.
We hope you will stick around, tune in, and reach out to us with your own journeys. We are excited to give you an inside view of what it takes to be a caregiver and what it's like to be a patient.
And most of all, we hope you'll maybe be able to play something you hear on here that might help you in your own life. Sometimes life changes, and it's all about how you handle the journey.